A lot of people have said that the Avengers are better than the Justice League, but what if we took it up a notch? What if we put one member of the Avengers up against one member of the Justice League to see who would be worthy of wielding Mjolnir? For this list, I'm gonna take a look at 6 members of the Avengers and their counterpart in the Justice League and decide which one deserves to wield Mjolnir more. And let's begin with the obvious choice. First up, we have Captain America versus Superman. There are few characters in fiction who are more synonymous with their respective teams than these two. And while both are great leaders, there's no doubt that when it comes to worthiness, Cap has the advantage here. Don't get me wrong, Superman is an extremely moral person, and he's not even really capable of doing evil. But his main strength lies within his power set. He could destroy the Earth without breaking a sweat. So even if he were to try and be a good guy, that kind of power in the wrong hands could easily lead to devastation. Captain America, on the other hand, was deemed worthy by Odin back in Avengers Endgame. Not only that, but he also lifted Mjolnir all the way back in Thor, the first Thor, when he believed himself to be unworthy. In this scene, Steve Rogers shows how much he cares for others, giving up his spot on the dance floor so that Valkyrie can dance with somebody else because she's more worthy. And when Steve throws Mjolnir away after discovering that he is actually worthy, it comes back to him. The Asgardian people respect him so much that they made him king. So needless to say, out of all the Avengers, there's probably nobody more worthy than him. Next up, we have Iron Man versus Batman. Now this one is kind of difficult because both of these guys are brilliant inventors. And they also very arrogant and selfish people. They tend to think that they know what's best, and that often leads them into conflict with their teammates. Tony Stark is the first to admit that he can be a bit of an egomaniac. That's why when he made the Ultron program and created Vision, he essentially wrote his own obituary. He understood that what he had done could lead to his own demise. With Batman, it's a little different. For Bruce Wayne, crime fighting is all about control. He wants to feel like he's in control of things. And having someone like Ultron or Vision, robots that don't have any control over their own actions, they would completely go against everything that Bruce stands for. In my opinion, I think that Tony is a bit more worthy just based on the fact that he has donated so much money to help clean up Earth's orbit. He was willing to sacrifice his life to help destroy the Infinity Stones because he knew that what he had done in creating them in the first place led to so many problems. Ultimately, both of these guys are heroes, but Tony gets the win here. Now we're going to switch gears a bit. Next up is Hulk versus Doomsday. Out of all of the Avengers, I think that Hulk has the closest moral alignment to Doomsday. They're both incredibly strong, they're both pretty much unstoppable, and they're both not exactly the brightest. Now Hulk has been known to snap out of his rage and actually show some sort of compassion before. He's shown that he does have some control over his actions. Now Doomsday, on the other hand, he doesn't have any control over his own actions. He is essentially a mindless killing machine. I do believe that Doomsday is more evil than Hulk, because of the fact that Hulk has actually saved lives before. Doomsday just destroys everything in sight. This is a hard one to judge because they're both incredibly similar. But I think that in the end, Hulk has shown more signs of being able to control his actions. So I'm going to give the win to him. Now we're getting to the heavy hitters. Thor versus Wonder Woman. Now, this is definitely one of the hardest matchups on this list. Both of these individuals are incredibly honorable, and they're also very powerful. I think the deciding factor between these two would be their alignments. While Thor is still very much tied to Asgard, he is also an Earth protector. He understands what it means to protect those who are not as powerful as you. Wonder Woman, on the other hand, is an Amazonian warrior whose duty it is to fight against evil wherever she finds it. She is bound by her bracelets to protect mankind from harm. There's really not a lot of difference between these two. But I think that in the end, Wonder Woman is more selfless than Thor, even though she is an Amazonian. She doesn't care about protecting only the Amazonians or only her own kind. She protects everyone. Moving on, we have Black Widow versus Green Lantern. Now, Green Lanterns are known for being powerhouses, but their power is based on their will. That means that if their will fails them, they're no longer useful. Black Widow, on the other hand, is one of the best hand-to-hand fighters in the Marvel world. and she doesn't rely on anything but her skill. Her fighting style and her ability to manipulate situations to her advantage is what makes her dangerous. Green Lantern is only as powerful as they think they are. If they lose confidence in themselves, they become useless. Black Widow, however, can always be resourceful. I think that in this situation, Black Widow would find a way to use her environment to defeat her opponent and become the victor. And last but certainly not least, we have Hawkeye versus Flash. Now, both of these guys are incredibly fast, but speed isn't necessarily what I'm looking for when I think about worthiness. Clint Barton is an excellent archer and strategist. He's also the leader of the Avengers. When it comes to taking down Loki and the Chitauri army in New York, he takes charge when there is no other option left. The Flash, on the other hand, is an incredibly powerful speedster. He can run faster than the speed of light. He's also very impulsive and reckless. He tends to act first and ask questions later. A lot of times this works out for him, but it also causes a lot of problems for the Justice League. Out of all the speedsters that there are in the world of DC, I think that the Flash is the most impulsive. He acts first, and then thinks about what he did later. He's as hot-headed, and he has caused quite a few problems for the Justice League due to this attitude. I think that Hawkeye is a bit more level-headed, and therefore is more worthy of my own ear. So there you have it, folks. Those are 6 members of the Avengers and their counterparts on the Justice League. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which team do you think is better? Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. See ya!